Okay, editing Ian here. I decided to do an executive summary at the beginning of this video. I know this is 50 minutes, so if you don't have the time to spend watching this, I completely understand. The executive summary is 26,605 words were written this week. At the end of the video, I bake some bread and make some bacon, smoke some bacon. So, I mean, if you want to watch that stuff, you want to watch me struggling and explaining things and, um, just going through like a million sprints all week long, great. I'd love to have you watch it. But if you don't want to, 26,605 is what we got through. Thanks, and I hope to see you at the end. Good morning. It's another week. This time the vlog's going to be all week, so it'll hopefully be short and sweet every day. We're starting off with whatever it was, 1,200, 12,000, sorry, 12,259 in the manuscript. It's 10 to 8 in the morning on Monday. There are a cajillion sprints today, I think. And Friday, there's going to be like all day. I think they're trying to do 24 hours with Cody and the rest. So we have no excuse. We'll just keep writing. I mean, I will have to do work this week, actual work. But today is Remembrance Day, and I have it off. So I'll see you at the end of the day to see what we accomplished. Bye. Hello. It's still Monday, but I'm done for the night because it's 8:33, which means I've been writing for 12 hours. Hell of a day. Cody and Meredith had a stream. I wrote about 1,000 words in that. That was pretty good. That was nice. It was nice to see Meredith on a stream. And it's always nice to see Cody. So, not long-winded. Word count, something, math. 5,121 words today. Writing for, again, around 12 hours. I mean, I stopped for a few breaks. I had to eat something. I had some leftover Chinese food. So we did that, but mostly I was sitting here writing. I put one of my characters in hospital. It's all random. This is great. I didn't outline this one in as much detail as the first book. This is just that sort of rough 3-act structure for mysteries that I developed that I showed you maybe a few videos ago. And I'm just making everything up as I go along, and it's actually quite fun. So there's a tiny bit of structure because I know, I know how investigations work. Let's just say that. So I put them in these situations, and then I can write it out. But again, sci-fi, a little bit complicated. Murder mystery, you gotta, set the clues and stuff. Again, a little bit complicated. So I'm not making as much progress as if I was writing, let's say, a contemporary murder mystery. I think that would be a lot faster. I mean, I spent 2 hours earlier today. Actually, I think this was the first thing I did, working out to the meter the exact size of the farm band so that I would know how long it would take to walk from the airlock to the main building, distance between buildings, how many employees there would be on a 163,000 acre farm. So yeah, there was a lot of math stuff that went on at the beginning of today. But because I did that and I invested that time, everything else now makes sense. I could have done it and like nothing I wrote would make any sense because it would be, they walked for 15 minutes, but actually that building would have had to be 20 kilometers away. And there's no way to do that in that time. So anyway, we did all the math first. We got it all done. I said I wouldn't be long-winded. I'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday. Good night. Okay, so it's 11:30 or something. Mick's got an impromptu pop-up stream going. I finished what I had to do for the morning for work, so I'm going to take lunch and I'm going to take the opportunity to do a bit of writing. I should probably eat something too, but anyway. Work keyboard goes away. Work mouse hides. Writing keyboard comes out. Writing mouse. So yeah, I've started measuring the word counts differently because I figured out I think I figured out why Scrivener was screwing up the word counts for me. If I needed to add a scene after the one I was writing, I would just duplicate the previous scene, and then I'd still have all the stuff in the notes and whatever, and then I would delete what I had written in this newly duplicated scene. Well, I don't think Scrivener counts when you duplicate it as an addition of words. I don't think. But it certainly counts the deletion of the words. So I think that's where it's getting kind of confusing. So what I've decided to do now is under statistics in Scrivener, I'll just take the manuscript word count from the beginning of the day or the night before and subtract it from whatever I get the next day to know what the word count actually was. But I won't know, unless I'm just in one scene, I won't know what each, say, sprint gave me. But, daily word count is fine for statistical purposes. It doesn't matter. We're getting closer to the end. 17,380. So, we're about a quarter, maybe a fifth. No, we're not. Okay, bear with me. I know, long-winded, blah, blah, blah. I might have to do a jump cut. 60,000 divided by 17,380. 0.345. We're a third of the way-ish. That's not too bad. We're in Act 2. We're collecting evidence and clues, figuring out who to interview. And I'm basically making it up on the spot because, as I said, whenever the hell I said it, yesterday or whenever, I didn't actually outline this part scene by scene. It's just the general feeling of let's collect evidence. And the next part just says like dead ends. I'm like, okay, so I'm just making it up on the spot. And I just sent one of my investigators to the infirmary. So she's out for the count. Um, so that's fun. And I didn't know I was going to do that. So, discovery writing at its best, where I still know what needs to be accomplished, but I don't know how we're getting there. And it's just fun figuring everything out as we go. So I will see you later tonight when today is at a close, and we'll see how many words I managed to get for the day. Ciao. And we're back. It's 9:03. I have to go to bed because tomorrow's an early day and I actually have to drive to work. Fine. Today was not the best day word count wise. But we had a sprint, more than one sprint. We had a stream with Alyssa in the books. There was an impromptu one with Mick, which was great. Alyssa's was great too. And then there was another multi-hour stream with Jess and Jess Writes a Book, which was super. And then I finished off the night with Andy and her stream. So there's lots of wonderful people streaming pretty much all the time, which is just great. Word-wise, the manuscript sits at 19,381. Yesterday's total was 17,380, which put us at 2001, A Space Odyssey. Words for today. That's about 300 shy of the goal, but honestly, I have to get to bed. I mean, work needs to be done. You got to keep the money rolling in, right? Or all of this just hard to write under a bridge. So we'll call it a win. It's great. I mean, we're plugging along. I think I did the math wrong earlier. I'm almost a third of the way through the book now. And we're a week and a bit, almost a week and a half into the month. So, with those like high word count weekends, if I can keep that up, we might actually reach the goal. That'd be awesome. Anyway, see you tomorrow, Wednesday, and we'll try to get some more words in, although obviously I do have to work first. So, good night. Hello, friends. It is Wednesday, the 13th, apparently, at 3:48 p.m. I am a little bit late getting started after work. This morning, I was in Alyssa's stream, but I actually had to drive into the office today, so I spent Alyssa's stream, getting ready for work, and then I had to take off a bit early. That's fine, work went well enough. And at 4 o'clock for me, in 12 minutes, I guess, there's a stream with Anna Vera. And this is her first time streaming. So I'm here to support, offer encouragement. I'm sure she's going to do fine. I mean, she looks and sounds like a television presenter. Like she could have her own show on HGTV if that still exists. I don't know. I haven't watched cable in forever. And we'll actually get some words in. The count from last night was 19,381. So we'll see what we can get by the end of tonight. I'll keep going even after that stream's over till about 8 or 9 o'clock, I guess. And then, I mean, I have so much time I could take off. So there's some stuff to do for work, but I might actually take Friday off. I could even take Thursday off too and just get a good long run in there. We'll see. We'll decide what we're going to do. I will check in with you at the end of the night. I appreciate you watching this vlog. Bye for now. It's Wednesday night. I've been writing for 4 hours. I just scarfed down a burrito. I don't know if there's shit in my teeth, so I'm not going to smile. The time is currently something, 8:25. Today, I had to drive into work. There was a bit of work after I drove back home and whatever. I did that Anna Vera stream. She's very pleasant. It was great. If you haven't subscribed to Anna Vera, please do, because she's wonderful. Word count for today, 1820. So it's not the highest thing in the world. But that's A-okay. Total word count, though, which for some reason I didn't have open to share with you, is 21,201. So we broke the 20K. Doing okay. Not too bad. I exported what I had so far as a PDF and sent it off to the wife. She will be reading that, and that's kind of why I'm calling it a night early. I'll go out there. What I like to do is listen to her as she's reading. She doesn't read it out loud, but as she's reading, if I hear some little chuckles or whatever, then I know I've succeeded. So it's nice to hear reader reaction to what you've written. It's very rewarding. So don't forget about including readers in the process, because it'll make you feel like you've accomplished more than you may feel you have yourself. Obviously, I'm tired. Voice is going. Today was Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a lovely split second before I see you tomorrow morning. Bye. Good morning. It is Thursday at 9:06 a.m. I put in, well, I guess it's 3 hours work now, but then I decided I felt like taking the rest of the day off and tomorrow. So I put in a couple personal days for that. And we're going to write. As I said yesterday, I think I got 1,820 words, which didn't feel like enough. I know that Friday, Cody and others are doing basically all day streaming to try to get 5K. So we'll participate in that. But I figured I might as well try to do it today too. Let's just get through as much of this as we can so that there isn't the last minute panic near the end of the month. And my work's kind of busier at the end of this month, so may not have as much time. So great. I may also clean this office because it's a disaster. So I might set up for a time lapse to do that, maybe even before we start working. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Okay, so we tied it up a little bit. I'm not bringing out the, Windex or whatever. It's tidy enough. The time is now 10:30. I had to do a couple other things, but it basically took an hour to go through, repack a bunch of stuff. Some stuff I borrowed and have to bring back now. But we'll get going on the writing. Yeah, that was all fake. I really don't want the camera running while I type. So, see you in a bit. So, hello again. It's been a hell of a day. It's 3:30 now. I think I started at 10 or something writing, 10 or 10:30. So let's say 4 or 5 hours. I've only written 2,300 words, but that's okay. This story is at the point where it's getting very complicated. It's very hard to keep track of everything that needs to be done investigation wise, not author wise. This is all within the story. I've got the notes section of Scrivener. I don't know if it's possible to fill it, but I mean, the screen part is filled. I've got notes in a book. We're partway through Act Two. They haven't accomplished anything yet other than like gathering evidence that isn't really leading anywhere. It's 10 o'clock at night in their world. They can't really do anything else tonight because they need to like interview people, ask questions. So they're wrapping it up. And I thought I was going to jump into the next part of Act Two, which I have listed as no progress and dead ends. But I actually have to, that would be the morning. No progress and dead ends would be after yet another day of investigation. So I'm not quite there yet. I have to stick with the previous theme. What was that called? Red herrings, intentionally misleading evidence, or misinterpreted, long section. Okay, well, at least it says long section because it's going to get even longer because now I have to have the nighttime thing. So everyone's been dropped off at the space station, except for Marjorie. You don't know Marjorie, but she's a ranger that they brought on board for this. She's been dropped off on the planetoid just below the space station called Exie Fife. She lives in the colony there for some reason. I haven't decided yet, but that's where she lives. But anyway, we need to have. Um, I need to correct a detail in a previous scene. Not correct, I have to augment that I just thought about. I was out in the garage for a second and I just thought of this thing. I have to have a conversation with Tanner's wife. I have to have Zach on his spaceship. I have to have Candace either sleeping or having a discussion with her father. I have to have Marjorie down on the colony. I have to have Miles attempting to investigate his wife's murder, even though he's not allowed to. He's trying to do this in his off time. And then I have to add a bit of conflict to a dinner scene that I added earlier that I also just thought of in the garage. So, like, potentially there's another 2,000 words here before we even get into the next part of Act Two, which was the whatever the hell I just said a second ago. No progress and dead ends. So all of that stuff has to happen before we have like the next day. Do 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 do. You know, something like that. I'm not a singer. What can I tell you? The next morning they start again. Every morning we start with a sort of group meeting. What do we know? Where are we going? Who do we have to talk to? Blah blah blah. Which is a great recap for the investigators so that they actually know what they're doing for the day. They have these a couple times throughout the day. And it's also a great reminder for the reader who, you know, might have stuck in a bookmark and gone to sleep. And now they're back at it the next day and they want to know what's going on too. So I just thought it's fun when your voice completely gives out. I just thought I'd give you a little recap on this tiny struggle I was having. I thought I was ready to move on to another section, but I'm not. I have to write the whole night, and there's like a billion conflicts that are about to happen within all of those things. So anyway, it's 3 something. Come on, phone. 3:37, and we're just gonna keep writing. I think there's a sprint tonight for someone. I don't recall off the top of my head, but I'll let you know maybe at the end of the night and what the word count is. So thanks. See you later. And here we are at the same desk in the same position at the end of the night on Thursday. It is currently 9:20. I don't really remember when I started this. Was it 10 something? So let's say that's 9, 10, 10 and a half, 11 hours of writing. I just got out of a sprint with Cody, Andy, Amina, and Brielle that Brielle hosted. That was great. That was a great sprint or live stream. The chat was great and lively. All of the hosts. I mean, I don't want to just say hosts. I mean, I kind of feel like I know these people, but they were all wonderful. Um, and for the day, I managed to get 5,190 words. So I think I did roughly the same thing on Monday. So this has been great. I mean, I had to take the day off to do it. I can't justify writing instead of working, but if I take the day off of work, then I feel a little less guilty. I mean, I still had to do a few things for work, even though I take the day off. I mean, there's only me doing what I do, so sometimes I have to do stuff regardless. Anyway, this was a productive day. I'm a little bit tired at the moment. Tomorrow, I believe it's, well, I know it's Cody, but I think he alternates with a bunch of other people to stream basically all day to get 5K done. So, um, based on the fact that I've done it 2 days now this week, I think we'll be able to do that. And that would be awesome. What would that bring us to? Where's all the statty things? Allow me a moment while I click on buttons and then speak really slowly with gaps in between my. Okay, it's loaded. 26,391 currently. So if we get another 5K tomorrow, that's 31-ish, 31 and a bit. That's halfway through. What, we're on the 14th. Tomorrow to be the 5th. Yeah, we'd be on track. We would be on track to actually complete a 60,000K book 2 of the IIC Emile Sarr sci-fi crime thriller series uh, within the month of November. So that's exciting times. It is, actually. I've never done this kind of stuff before. It's kind of thrilling. At the same time, I am a pragmatist and I try to keep everything down to the ground. Don't get excited until things actually happen. And even then, there's a little bit of stoicism, keep your emotions in check. So that's just me. If you, I don't want to really go into philosophy here, but if you view things as interesting instead of positive or negative, you can ride those bumps a lot more easily. Let me tell you. I will see you tomorrow on Friday. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, except whatever. You're not going to watch this before tomorrow. So, see you in half a second. Bye. Good morning. It is 8 o'clock on the dot, and it's Friday, the 15th. Currently in an Alyssa and the Books stream. It was fascinating. Earlier, her computer was playing up, so it was an old-fashioned crank timer and cell phone for the stream. That was great. So today there's a there's like a million streams going on, and everybody's trying to get 5K. So I got over 5K yesterday, so we'll try for that again today. And that means starting early. I mean, I was up 4 hours ago, but it takes me a little while to get the energy to get going. So we're going to get started now. I will see you periodically throughout the day, maybe after each stream, just to give a little update on where we are. Okay, bye. Welcome back. We just finished a live stream with Cody the writer and Natalie Jane Shields. And I don't know exactly how many words I wrote in there. I think it was 1,600 or something. So that was quite nice. But I thought I'd give you an update on the day so far. It's currently 1:23 p.m. There's another stream at 3, which will be great. We'll just keep going. We'll keep going between now and then, and we'll keep going then. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, day so far, 2,533. The manuscript sits at 28,924. So we're almost at 30K. Today is sort of like hump day for the nano thing. So I have to get to 30 at least, which is only another 1,000 something. But the goal for today was actually to write 5,000, which means I've got another 2,500 to go. I know what I have to do in my scenes here, so I'll just keep plowing through. Honestly, I am a tiny bit tired right now. I've been going for a while, but we'll keep going. Everybody's tired. It's November. Look, I'll be honest, I'm getting tired. But we just got out of, well, half an hour ago. I needed a break. Just got out of Cody and Natalie's other sprint, which again, wonderful. Chat was great. Everybody's brilliant. Sorry, I was just looking down at my mic. I wasn't trying to avoid saying brilliant while looking you in the eyes. It was brilliant. So during that sprint, I think I wrote, I don't know, let's say 1500-ish between the two 40-minute sprints. We're sitting at 31,346 words. And this morning we started with 26,391, which means right now we're at 4,955. I have almost reached my initial goal of 5K for the day. But in Cody and Natalie's first stream today, they had said that they were starting at 0. But when they said that, I was already at 1,000. So I kind of jokingly, but I guess I'll follow through on it, said that I'd changed my goal to 6K for the day. So that will be my goal for today, which means I have a little over 1,000 left to write. There's still 72 minutes left before their stream starts. Yes, I'm going to get a little bit of food in me because, again, I'm losing steam here. I haven't eaten anything all day. I've had a billion coffees, but that's not cutting it anymore. So I'm going to continue writing. I'm going to eat something. I haven't decided what yet. And I will get back to you at the end of the last stream for today, where hopefully I have met my 6K goal. Oh, what are we doing? Hello. Christ. I mean, it's been what, a 13-hour day? Maybe 14. I mean, I was in Alyssa's stream this morning. I didn't honestly write for the first sprint, but I did for the second. The time is 9:28. Alyssa's thing starts at 7 o'clock my time. So that's 14 and a half hours. Holy God. Just got out of thing, man. What's it called? Yeah, what I just said, a live writing sprint thing. The fourth one for today, the third one for Cody and Natalie, and Ari and Brielle were in that one. And that was lovely. I was a little bit lower energy, but I did what needed to be done. Everybody else pretty pumped, and it was great. Everybody was cheering each other on. That was a great initiative, doing the 5K Friday. I don't know if that's been done by other people before. This is the first time I've heard of it via Cody and Natalie, so that was super well executed. Total word count today for the manuscript is 32,778. For today alone, 6,387. That's a fair amount. We're over halfway to our goal. We're over just going into the second half of the month. I hope I can dedicate a few more days to working like this, spread out throughout the month. I know there's a few things for work that I have to do and are super stressful and will take a few days, but we'll try to keep this going. Because I'm pumped. I mean, I lost those first 3 days at the beginning of November because I was, a lazy bastard and didn't get to writing anything until like November 4th or whatever it was. And now I've made up my time and I'm a tiny bit ahead. So great. Thank you very much for watching Friday. I think I'll do this again Saturday and Sunday, and then I have to make that bacon. And Sunday night, I'll probably actually edit this thing and then maybe throw it up. So tomorrow will be another good test of how much I can accomplish in a day. So that'll be great. Looking forward to that. And a little bit more energy tomorrow morning. See you in a blink. Bye. Good morning. It is Saturday at 8:15. I've been up for a little bit. I'm working on my second tea here. My voice is kind of going. I don't know why. I mean, I spent all day yesterday writing, not, singing or speaking. Um, but the throat doesn't feel great today. Uh, Last night, I wasn't having the greatest time getting to sleep. I was actually thinking about the story and ended up making some notes in my phone. And this morning, I printed out the sheet of important stuff. Um, it's a combination of notes that I've made over the months. And one thing in here that I've forgotten to add to the story so far is Haymaker's Punch, the recipe for that. That's it's a drink. It's not the boxing move. 3 tablespoons of honey, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and then you can either drink that straight or add some sparkling water to it to make it a little bit of a smoother experience. And it's supposed to be very refreshing for people who have spent all day out in the fields, sweating their brains out. So I'll add that to the story to give it a little bit more realism for anyone who actually works on a farm. You might be familiar with this recipe. So that's it. The story's very complicated, and it takes all of my brain power to keep it together. Like, yes, I'm using the notes section to document what evidence they've found, what evidence they still need to find, everything they need to follow up on, all of the little conflicts that end up happening. But it's a lot. And I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't know if I've said this before, but the motivations for the murders in the first 5 or 6 books, anyway, they're not the real motivations. There's a completely different story happening in the background that is just barely hinted at in these books, and I have to keep that in mind too. So it'll be fascinating when I end up publishing. I'm really interested to see the comments on book, I think it'll be 6, where some of this stuff comes to light and people will just be like, mind blown, as long as I do it right and, keep my shit together, because it's so easy to forget what's going on in here. Anyway, long-winded again. See you in a bit. Okay. Hi. It's some 9:57 is what it is. When did I start? 8? Quarter after 8? Quarter after 9 would be 13. I mean, it's almost 14 hours. I haven't eaten anything today. I started into the beer. That wasn't great. That's not a great idea on an empty stomach. But words. Um, you know what? Okay, words aside for a second. Let me just, play with my eyelashes. I wrote some, in my opinion, some pretty darn good scenes today. I wrote one scene where a suspect was recounting the story. He's heterosexual, but he sort of fell in love with another man, and he's recounting this story. And even though I have no experience with that particular thing, I think I did a pretty good job of that. I wouldn't even know who to ask for advice on that, but I think I did a pretty good job on it. And there's been a lot of good evidence collection and analysis. I mean, obviously, they're not making any progress because we're still in Act Two, and they have to beat their heads against the wall a little bit. There's a lot of stuff that seems like it's valid, but may or may not be. It's just the way it goes. So, sorry, I'm freaking exhausted. What have we written today on Saturday, the whatever it is? 16th. 6,086 words. So, I don't think I beat yesterday, but I mean, we got 6,000, over 6,000 anyway. So that's a-okay. Manuscript sits at 38,864. So the goal was to go to 60. Well, the goal was to finish the story with 60, 65, 55. What, I don't care. My throat's still not the greatest. So we may be almost 2/3 of the way there. It depends. I don't know how much longer this story's going to go. Also, I don't know what I went into in the other little blips and blobs, but effectively, I'm pantsing this. I have my 3-act murder mystery structure framework, which is like a sentence for different. Is it beats? Sure, let's call them beats. Whatever. It's like a sentence for things that happen in a murder mystery story by me. But other than Act 1, which on November 3rd or 4th, Act 1, I actually outlined that I knew what was going to happen. After that, I have not taken the time to outline anything else, and this is all just pure investigation, seat of my pants, going where the evidence suggests we should go. So that's interesting. I mean, I put one investigator in the infirmarator in the infirmary, and now she's at a commission. I didn't know I was going to do that, but I did it. It's the way organically things have gone. I still not prefer, I still like the idea of outlining, especially in a murder mystery. I can plot out the whole thing and figure out where clues should be and who needs to be where, and I'd actually know who the murderer is. I'm not actually sure who the murderer is. I'm figuring it out as I go. I think I know who the murderer is. And I'm not pretending like these characters have come to life and are doing their own thing and whatever. But you change a word, like, I don't know what word. Let's just say he said gruffly, or he said, I want to say trepidatiously, but I don't even think I know what that means right now. He said, I don't know, solemnly, whatever. Like just a subtle change. And then you're like, oh, well, if he said it like that there, maybe I should go in this direction. And then you start, there's all these like branches. It's like a tree. All these branching off points, like, I mean, it's a sci-fi, so I guess I should say multiple dimensions or something. This subtlest of changes, and you're going in a different direction. So it's been really neat to see how this has gone. I think it's a solid story. The plot is still good. Definitely the investigation is solid because they're following the evidence. Everything makes sense. Everything's tied together through the whole story. There's honestly nothing to go back and change. I mean, is the prose the best thing that's ever existed? No. I'm not, whatever, Shakespeare or Hemingway or Faulkner or whoever these people are. I'm not the best at lines, but stories I can tell. They're long winded, but I can tell them. So I appreciate you watching today, Saturday. I started bread that I might be able to finish tomorrow. I'm not sure. We canned some salsa, like a triple batch of salsa. Is it going to be like, I don't know, 35, 40 jars of salsa? Crazy. I wasn't involved too much with that. My wife did most of the salsa, but recipe. I was here for basically 13 hours or whatever the hell it was doing this. And tomorrow we'll see if we can do a bit more, but I also have the bacon to do, so maybe I'll show you some of that. At the moment, I'm friggin' exhausted. I think the cats woke me up at like 4 a.m., crawling around my head and purring and chirping for some reason. I didn't know cats could chirp. It's insanity. Chirping around my head because, they want wet food, and it's the first thing that happens in the morning when I give them wet food. So, whatever. 4 a.m. I want wet food. Fine. See you tomorrow on Sunday. All the best. Smooch, smooch on both cheeks. Bye. So I did this before in another video, but I used that messed up accent. So we're doing it again. This is cured bacon. It's been in the fridge for a week. Rinse it off first. Ideally it would be tacky, but not wet. Tacky we're good with. It's cured. My hands are fine. My hands are fine. Okay, this is a brisket rub that I made a ton of, but I use it on bacon as a finishing, not really finishing it, for the smoking. And you cover the thing as much as you possibly can because bacon's cut fairly thinly, and you only get this flavor on those outside bits. You want this stuff to go into the smoker fat side up. You also want to give it half an hour to rehydrate the spices. Oh, also, I should correct myself. When I did all the curing in the video last week, I was calling it bacon. It's not bacon, it's pork belly. Until you cure it. Then it's bacon. Then you smoke it, and it's smoked bacon. So pork belly is the thing you want to buy from Costco. I put maple sugar on it, just a little bit. It does not burn in the smoker, and it just gives every bite, I don't know, nice little Canadian flavor. Maple bacon, come on. And now we wait until the internal temperature is about 150. Bacon's done. Hey, it's the outro. So, as I said at the beginning, I managed to get 26,605 words for the week. That's pretty awesome. I'd like to thank everyone who hosted a stream. I actually have them written down. Hold on. Hosted or was in the stream. Alyssa in the books. Jess writes a book. Cody, Mick, Anna Vera, Andy, Amina, Brielle, Natalie Jane Shields, Ari, and everyone who's in chat, because you guys are the greatest. Everyone's like sending congrats, and it's a really great community, and I appreciate you all a lot. If you made it to the end of this video, and if such a thing exists, leave a, bacon emoticon. Wait, that was 30 years ago. We called things emoticons. Emoji is the new term. So bacon emoji if you made it to the end. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.